Hello, everybody. Welcome to Lunch with Linda. I'm Linda Daniels, and you are now inside Northampton Walls. Welcome to all of you, both new and old, and far and near. We're so excited to have so many people joining us every week. We are having a beautiful day here in Northampton, and we're smack dab in the middle of May. And in this area, that means it's graduation time. Some of you may not know that we have 5 colleges in our very immediate area. Here in Northampton is Smith College, and right across the river we have UMass Amherst, Hampshire College, Amherst College, and Mount Holyoke College. And they all graduate this month. So if you can just imagine 5 big schools holding graduation, they do try to stagger them, but there aren't even enough weekends in May for each one to have its own weekend. So we see lots of people in town during this month. First of all, we see parents that are coming to pick up their college children and return them either home or to another position or hopefully to a job somewhere for the summer. And then we see parents that are coming in to celebrate with both relief and joy the fact that their child is graduating. And then on top of that, we also see lots of graduates who are returning for reunion. Reunion is really big at both Smith and Mount Holyoke. In fact, last night we heard fireworks, and I think it was at Smith. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to tell which direction they're coming from because it bounces right off the river. But I think it was a little bit of fireworks for Smith graduation, because I think they graduate first. So that keeps us on our toes and very busy for the month, because especially with reunion people, they come back and are thrilled that we're still here, and maybe they learned to knit when they were attending school and learned to knit here with us. So it's always a thrill for me. And they stagger their reunions. It's like every 5 years you get to come back for a reunion. So we look forward to seeing those of you that are returning for that weekend. We had a wonderful Mother's Day, and I hope all of you did too, and were able to celebrate with family and heard from all of your children. If you remember last week, I talked about some little bundles that we put together to make shopping for Mother's Day very easy, and that was very successful. We still have them set up, probably will for a few more days. If you didn't get one and you still want to come and check them out, they'll be here for you to see and available for purchase. So don't worry, you can still knit or crochet something special for yourself. And then I also wanted to remind everybody that this coming weekend, Friday night and Saturday, is the student showcase up at the Hill Institute in Florence. I teach crochet there on Wednesday nights, and at the end of the spring semester, the Hill sponsors a student exhibition where everybody who has taken classes at the Hill shows off their work. So you will have an opportunity to see quilts, to see sewing, to see knitting and crochet. You'll see incredible pieces of art, both in oil and watercolor and photography, and then the woodworking will blow you away. They also have a canoe making series and weaving. So if you want a little entertainment, looking for something short and sweet to do on Friday night before or after dinner, the show is, I think, from 5 to 7, and then on Saturday morning from like 9 to noon. So it's a fun way to see how talented people are, and I think how good the teachers are at the Hill, that gives their students a chance to really shine with what they have learned over those 10 weeks of classes. Well, the really big news, of course, is that I am back from Chicago, where Eileen and I went on a Wednesday and Thursday for the H&H America's trade show. And I'm going to tell you all about it. Maybe not all about it, but I'll tell you a lot about it. And we had a wonderful time. It was a lot of fun. And what was most impressive to me, this was a huge show, and it combined both knitting and crochet fiber arts like that with quilting and sewing. So there were a lot more quilting and sewing stores there this year than ever before, and it was huge. What was really striking to me was the fact that there were over 5,000 attendees. And I was talking to one quilt store owner, and she has been in business for just about the same amount of time that I have, but she's about 15 years younger than I am because it was her dad's business. And she said she took over the store when she was 22, and at that time, it was a completely men's world. And this is the truth. The other side of this, the sales reps, the vendor owners, they were all men. And we have seen that change over the years to mostly women. So 5,000 women-owned businesses, all trying to make a living from the fiber and fiber arts. It's just amazing to me. And it's going to make me cry.
It's great. Yeah.
It was pretty impressive. So yay us.
Yeah.
It was really, really fun. I do want to tell you one thing before I get into the nitty-gritty of what we saw at the show. We did get, just before the show, this came just as I was leaving on Wednesday or Monday, one of those days.
Yeah, I saw it on Wednesday.
Is this kit from Madash. They have been doing these special little kit projects with some of their specially dyed yarns, and this was one of them. So this is with a new Della Q shape bag. It's a cute little tote bag, and I'm going to take this stuff out and really show you the bag first.
They call it their to-go tote?
It's the to-go clip tote?
No, just to-go tote.
To-go tote. And inside the mesh is an open pocket on the side. Great place for your pattern. Don't put your scissors in there because they'll just come right out the bottom. But there is a zippered pocket on the inside that does have a bottom. So all of your tools that need to be kept safe can go right in the zippered pocket. And then there's another, it's probably water bottle and phone pockets, if I use my brain at all. And then, of course, because it's a snap bag, all the snaps snap closed. Like that. Snap, snap, snap. All the way across. And then you've got a great canvas handle for it. Perfect project size with a handle. Now what comes in the bag is the pattern for the Rainbow Road shawl. This is a chevron pattern. It is knit, but if you are a crocheter, it's not hard to find a chevron crochet pattern as well, because that will work beautifully with this specially dyed yarn. And when you look at how the yarn is dyed, see how the colors are spotted? I think I can open this and still put it back together. This is their, it's called Cloudy with a Chance of Rainbows, which is their Wool Cycle Sport. It's not the Tosh Light. It is Wool Cycle Sport. Look at that. So the rainbow is dyed only in one section, but when you knit or crochet with it, that color section shows up and then disappears. So you see how there's spots of just gray, but then there's whole lines of the rainbow color as well. Lots and lots of fun. All you need are the two skeins, and they both come with it. They were dyed at the same time, so you'll be sure to get the same weight dye lot, and it does come in several different choices. I'm going to let Kate put that back together. So that's the gray, and that's the one that's shown in the picture. But look, 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 look.
Ooh, Moody.
Moody is right. This will be amazing. Really and truly amazing. All of those bright shots of color against this black background, and the black is a fade as well, goes from light to dark. There's going to be so much movement in this little piece, and with that chevron pattern, it will be fantastic. And of course, white. So you can do it with white as well.
They call that one pocket rainbow.
Pocket rainbow. And what's the black?
Just black rainbow.
Not black rainbow. Okay. Okay, but here's the deal. It all comes together in a nice little kit. Oh, I have to have you put that label back on for me. And we only have 6. We got 2 of each color, right? Yeah. We got 2 of each color. The to-go Della Q bundle. That's for May. That's the rest of May. So we've got them hung up in the shop, and you can come and make your choice sooner rather than later, because like I said, we only have 2 kits of each color, and I don't want you guys to miss out at all. So there is so much wonderful, beautiful stuff for you guys coming this fall. So I had you in mind the whole time. And some things I said no to because I knew you wouldn't like it, but some things I couldn't get there fast enough. Sorry, Eileen, but Eileen and I sat down at the Trendsetter booth, and Anita was showing me some things, and I had to send Eileen away because Eileen was, well, just buy one of everything. Right? Okay. Well, that didn't happen. But I did buy some really fun stuff from them. If you saw the Instagram post that I did, wait a minute, did I put the poncho? Yes, I did. I put the poncho up. So these are, although we have the yarn in stock, that poncho is a brand new pattern, and Barry hasn't even written it yet. But you can get the yarn now while it's still here and be prepared, because he's working on posting the patterns, and as soon as they're available, I will be able to show it to you. The one that is in the photograph of me wearing that poncho and trying it on is done with a strand of the cotton hair. This is a cotton and mohair blend, so it's really very soft. It has a different feel than mohair and silk, but because it's mostly cotton, no, wait a minute, it's mostly mohair with 30% cotton, it's very wearable for a lot of people. And this is the striping. This yarn does the stripe part. And what that pattern is so many inches of these 2 colors together, and then change to these 2 colors together, and then change to these 2 colors together, or any combination you want. This is the combination that was in the one that I had on, which was beautiful. I really loved it, and it is big. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, we have 6 colors total, different colors, in addition to this. So there are all kinds of combinations. We've got a blue, we've got a purple, we've got that sea green and pink, which is one of my favorite. But this I just fell in love with. So you need 2 skeins of the mohair and then 1 of each of these, and basically it's stocking net stitch, changing color, the background color, let's call it, every like 10 or 12 inches or something until you've used up all the yarn. Then you just fold it, and that was the one where instead of sewing the entire seam, you leave it open at the neck, but you also leave an opening for the sleeve so you can stick your arm through it like I did in the video. So that was really fun to see. And there are other new yarns from Trendsetter that we'll be getting, but they won't come until later on in August because they're not ready yet. They know what they're getting, but they need to get them in themselves. So that was Trendsetter. We spent a lot of time with Urth yarns, of course, because they are like family to us. Hi, Shauna. I hope Emre is feeling much better. And of course, Rachel was there. Remember, Rachel when she came to visit, did a live with us and showed us all kinds of fun things. I didn't print it out, but I did purchase it. If you remember that side-to-side vest that was done in the bon mohair and the fingering weight harvest, that pattern is now available on Ravelry. The designer's name is, I'm not going to pronounce it right, Pufida, Purfido, P-U-R-F-I-D-O, I think. Yes. Kate's going to put it up. She'll and we'll find the name of the pattern and put that up too in the show notes later on. But that pattern is available, and we have the yarn. And that is actually one of the things that I'm going to take with me to Italy to knit. So as soon as they did have it in the booth, and it was as beautiful then as it was when Rachel brought it to us. So I want to have it here as a model, because vests are going to continue to dominate, or at least be a big part of this fall's fashion scene. We saw lots of vests all over the place, and I've got a few of them in my, what we are now calling whims, work in mind.
Oh, wait, tell me what that means.
Work in progress is
uh-huh.
whip.
Yeah.
Work in mind is a whim. It's what you're planning on making.
I love that.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
Whim. Okay, so I'm going to show you some whips and whims in a little bit.
I have a vest whim.
Exactly. So one of the things that Shauna told me about and gave me was, she said she had a customer who did Metamorphic. That's this sweater by Andrea Mowry, and it is a cozy, comfy, big, little bit oversized. You can make it cropped like that, or you can make it long. Really easy to knit, but they did it with a strand of the spiral grain worsted and held together with a skein, a strand of the spiral grain sport. So you hold the two together, and this is incredible. This is also in my whim list because we have a lot of this yarn, and the color combinations that you can get just by taking two, these are kind of contrasting colors, will make a beautiful, beautiful piece. I mean, just look what will happen.
My jaw is on the floor.
I know, it's going to be fantastic. I can't wait to start that. Again, Metamorphic, it's an older pattern, top down. I didn't look to see what needle size. Needles, 7s.
Nice.
6s and 7s. So it's not going to take forever to knit. So that was fun to see. I tried to do a live from the Urth booth, but that didn't quite work. So I wanted to show you today what I was talking about. One of the patterns is called Ashlar. That's this scarf pattern. And again, you'll find that in the notes. I think Ashlar is a paid pattern, so you do have to buy it. Think Sophie scarf with a little bit more. It's a little bit wider in the body of the scarf. It was probably in the middle, about that wide. Just long enough to wrap around once and tie. Hold on. And it was done in one skein of the DK harvest. And I brought all the colors that we have over so you can see. But Shauna had like 8 of them hanging on one hanger. And when I was doing the live, I grabbed, the colors are so great together. I grabbed 2 of them at once and put them on around my neck. And look at that look. Isn't it fun? So you can make 1, or you can make 2, or 3, or 4, and end up with some really fantastic combinations that you can wear together. It is not so bulky that wearing 2 at a time feels bad. It's just really, really fun. I'm showing you in the colors to you in pairs, but you only need 1 to make that whole scarf. These are close. I think it's actually the golds that I had on. Look how close those two are. Oh my God, that has Kate written on it. And that butternut color, or with the brown. Wow. I mean, this is the kind of stuff you need to be knitting now, because it's a small, lightweight, let's see, it doesn't, it's not going to take a lot of room or time to do. You can pick it up and put it down once you're into the pattern, and by the time fall comes around again, you'll be ready for it. So I fell in love, and I think you will too, with Ashlar again. Buy that pattern online, and it is a lot like the Sophie scarf. There's the shape that you're making. You start at one point, go towards the middle, and then down, and you're only really increasing or decreasing on one edge, so that you never lose your place. And I gave Eileen a skein to make one for the store, and I'm gonna make one, and Kate's got her hands on one.
I think we've got it autocorrect, but Terry said the pink and the criminal is stunning. Crimson?
I like that. I like that, Terry. Pink and criminal. We're going to have to name them like that.
Yeah.
So now where did I put all those bags? Here they are. So to tempt you even further, because sometimes yarn isn't enough, haha, Shauna gave me 12 of these little drawstring canvas project bags with Urth yarn written on it. So starting on Friday, not before, but if you come into the store, this has to be in store only, because it's too hard to keep track of the orders that might come versus somebody standing at the desk wanting one. We're going to give you a bag with every one skein purchase, but we've only got 12. So if you think you want to do this and you want a bag, come on Friday, because I'm sure by 12 o'clock they'll be gone. So that's our little treat of things that we were gifted at the show, because they want to keep me happy and I want to keep you happy most of all. And together, we really want you guys to be happy. So that's what we're going to do for you guys. The other scarf that I did do a post about on Instagram was such a hit. So many of you loved it that I loved it too. I'm going to do a class on the Hera scarf, which is this one. This is so much fun. This is a free pattern on Ravelry. If you are interested in making this, go and grab it now, or make a note about it. It's not Ravelry is never going to run out of free patterns, so you'll be able to get it no matter what. But if you saw the Instagram post, you saw how big that thing was. When I was standing up straight and just had it around my neck, it came down to my knees. It took 3 skeins to make that size. So if you wanted to make it smaller or shorter, I think you could probably do it in 2 skeins. It's done in the unique fingering weight, and this was the bright color that was at the end. This was the middle color, the one that looked like it was mostly neutrals. That was Eileen's favorite. And then I just grabbed another one because I couldn't remember what the third one was. But we have every color that Unique makes in this in stock. And you can make this scarf on your own if you know how to do German short rows. If you don't know how to do German short rows, I'm going to do this as a class. So I'll get you started, because you dive right in. You cast on and there's no ribbing. It's garter stitch. You get right into the short row process. And I'm going to do that class on June 7th. That's a Saturday from 1 to 3. Now, it's not posted on the website yet. I'm going to be doing that this afternoon because there are a couple of other classes that we've got planned for June that I want you to know about too. But this Hera, it'll only take a couple of hours. I don't think you'll need a second session. I think we'll be able to get through all of the fun stuff, and then you can just come on in and show me what you got, because it's going to be a lot of fun. Uh-oh. Allergies.
I just keep turning.
I know. So I I purposely saw Gudrun from Simply Shetland, and we had a nice visit together. And I was able to snag, finally, a color card for the Simply Shetland. Look at how many colors.
Oh my God.
And it's impossible for us to stock them all. And here's the naturals. We just can't do it. But we can order. So we're going to have this color card behind the desk. If you have a Fair Isle project or just want to play with some color, you can look at the colors on the website and then come in and look at them in person. And we're happy to order colors for anything that you need. But I was really glad to get my hands on a color card finally. If you love doing Fair Isle work and want your own color card, they're $30 and we can order them for you if you really want to own one of those as well. I just wanted to make sure you saw that. So like I said, we've got some special things coming. You'll probably see a little bit of this because Kate's putting together some posts for this week that are pictures from the show. There's a very secret sock yarn from Valrigo. So secret that they don't even put it on their website. You have to be a shop owner that knows about it so that you can call them up or email them and say, this is what I want. Well, they had it at the show, and I sat down at the table with the Valrigo rep, and she showed me this secret sock yarn, and I placed an order. And I am not sure. That's going to come, I think, sometime in June. A lot of these, the orders that I placed for things that will come right away are still going to be a bit slow, because imagine being a vendor there and you have 5,000 shops that have looked at you. Maybe they didn't all look at yarn, but you've gone home with a lot of orders that you need to then pack up and fill. So as soon as we get that secret sock yarn in, I'll be talking about it because it was wonderful. It's a sock yarn that has a little
They're gonna see it.
you know what you usually, yeah, exactly. But you won't be able to tell. Usually when you think of a sock yarn, you think of the weight, but you think of a merino that's tightly spun. This has some softness to it. It's a little bit fluffier, but so incredibly beautiful. I can't wait to show you that. Okay, that is all I want to tell you about the show, because I want you to be surprised when it starts to float in here. But it was very successful. I think you guys will be very happy with what ends up in the shop in the fall, ready to show you. Well, as you know, this week I leave for my Italy adventure. I will be flying out of Boston on Thursday, and then I will be back in the shop on Wednesday, May 28th, and that is the day that we are doing our initial scrap-along, knit-along, scrap-along. If you want to be inspired by your own bag of scraps, pile it all together, and get ready to come in here. It's going to be $10 to come. You should also look on Ravelry or in your books or in your library for a basic, we're talking just about shape, a pullover or a cardigan that you like the fit of. And it almost doesn't matter what gauge it is, because I'm going to talk about how to make your scraps work for the gauge of the pattern. But if you come with a basic idea of what you want, you can look through the scrap, 52 weeks of scraps for inspiration, but you are not required to purchase that book to do our scrap along. If you want to do the scrap along with Lane magazine, then yeah, I think you should own the book. But in the meantime, we want to get you going on knitting with the stuff you have. And as a little shocking inspiration, I brought up one of our bags of scraps, And I might just do this.
You might take one of those.
How to make a carefully bagged bag of scraps work. All kinds of different weights, all kinds of different colors. And what could you possibly do?
Anything.
This Kate put together with scraps that we had downstairs in the stores. Multiply this by about 80, and then you know what my house looks like, only not so neatly packaged. But we're going to have some fun with this scrap along. So mark your calendars. It's Wednesday, May 28th from 1 to 3. It'll cost you $10 to get a seat, and we're going to start a great big scrap along project so you can feel less guilty about buying some of that great new yarn in the fall, because you'll have cleaned out some of your stuff.
And to see like the magic of what it can be.
It's incredible. It's another one of those instances where while you're knitting it, you might be, this is so ugly, this is never going to work, and then ta-da, you're done, and it's fantastic. Okay, one other quick note about the show. Every time I lifted my eyes, there was somebody wearing a crocheted sweater. Crochet, crochet, crochet. I cannot say it enough. If you are already a crocheter, you're ahead of the game. If you don't know how to crochet and you want to join and hop on the bandwagon, Marianna is going to do a Learn to Crochet class on June 13th and on June 20th on Friday night. So the door will be locked. You guys will be downstairs. You'll be safe and sound from 6 to 8. All ages are welcome except for anybody under 12. It's an adult night. But this also isn't on the website yet, but I'll put that up this afternoon so you can register, because I'm not kidding. Crochet. I even took a crochet sweater without even thinking about too much about it. But granny square crochet sweaters, crocheted sweaters. I ordered many new crochet books that have both sweaters and small projects in them. The demand is there. It's not what I want to say. Like, it's a movement to up the level of crocheted items, to take them to a more wearable kind of look. And so we're really looking forward to some of those things. So learn to crochet if you don't already know, because it's continuing to be out and about all over the place. Met some great people. I can't believe I did this. I had Marianna wind up the next ball of yarn.
What color did you pick?
And I didn't have my sweater with me. Oh, man.
You
Okay.
didn't ask me.
I know. Okay, this I wanted to show you. Okay, this I wanted to show you what I'm going to take to Italy, because in addition to teaching, I will have some big, flight knitting time and some downtime, I think, in the evening. And I went through my office and pulled the bags that have whips in them, works in progress, things that are so close to being finished, they need to be done. And this is Pyramid Cloud. I did this as a class, but this is my model for the class. Not done. That's the back or the front. This is the sweater where it buttons. It's a cardigan, but you can button it up in the front, or you can button it up with the buttons in the back. And it has this strategically placed increased design with a slip stitch up the middle. It's so close. I have maybe an inch more and a little bit of ribbing, and then it's short sleeves. But now I have to wind up the right color yarn and do something else with that pink. I don't know how I got pink in my head, but I did. This is Urth Yarn's summer entry this year. It's the cotton and bamboo, and the drape on this yarn, cotton and linen, sorry.
You have so many other.
I know.
Yeah.
Cotton and linen, and we saw a lot of linen. There's a new yarn from Urth for the fall. That's a wool and linen blend, but I wanted to show you this because that's almost done, especially if I wind up the right color. So that's going to be one plain knitting. And then I started in Chicago, I started this. I've talked about this 100% silk tape that we have in the store, and it really needed a model. It needed to be knit. And so I started one for myself. And this is a design that I'm doing. So I'm doing it in the round. It's going to basically be a boxy, straight kind of t-shirt for it, but I wanted something a little bit special at the bottom. So I did a little lace pattern. That's my ends. And that lace is going to do two things. When it's blocked, it's going to put wave on the bottom a little bit, but it also adds some weight to the bottom, surprisingly. Every time you decrease, you double the yarn up, and that helps pull it down so it won't flip so much. But I'm in the stocking net stitch part. This is the, fall asleep or sit there in Italy in the villa and talk with everybody and not have to think so hard about it. But look at the drape on this silk, and it's a tape. I'm on a size 6 needle on this, and you can also work on a size 7. And I'm a little bit of a loose knitter, but oh my gosh, wait until you see and feel this when it's in the store. It has a lively feel for being 100% silk. I can't wait to block it and see what happens with it then.
Squishy.
It's very squishy.
This might work for my whim.
And drapey. Yeah, it might work for your whim. So this I'm going to take with me and see how far I get. The problem with me and stocking net stitching the round is that by the end of the day, I love doing it, but my eyes close. And although I can knit with my eyes closed for quite a bit, once I start to slip into sleep, it's over. It's all over. So there's those two. And, whoa. Because I'm making an effort to clean some of these works in progress up, I found this one. I won't tell you how long ago I started this, but it was long enough to go so that I had scheduled a class, and we never held the class because people didn't sign up. So this is the Calming Cowl, and I'm almost halfway. Now don't panic when you see stuff come off my needles. It's not a big deal. It'll go right back on. But let's see, where's that big cable? Right here. It started, and I need something interesting as well as something simple so that I'm engaged a little bit, or maybe there'll be a time in my room when I just need to be alone with some fun knitting. So I am almost halfway through, have a lot of the ball left, and I was like, I need to finish this. Not only to finish it, but I need my needles back because Bonnie, you can relate if Bonnie's watching. Bonnie always is buying new needles because all of her old needles have knitting on them and she can't find them. So I'm going to finish that. And then the definite list, I hope I have all 3 of those done so that on the flight back, I can finish my DanDoh, because this yarn is going to be coming right around the beginning of July. Ooh. This is 100% linen, and I have the back done already, and it's actually this way. This is called Joinery, and basically you knit one piece and you're making yarn over holes up along the side, and when you knit the second piece, when you reach the hole, you join it together with a cable twist. So you put 3 stitches on the cable needle, hold it in front, knit 3 from the new piece, knit 3 from the old piece, and it joins it as you go. And yes, the bottom piece is supposed to be uneven. Let me show you a picture of that as well. So I've started on the first half of the front, and that's nearly done. And here are the holes. Can you see that? Mm-hmm. The yarn over holes every so often. Those are where I will put the new piece, which is done in this color, the second half will join to this half as I knit it, and then they'll be joined together. So I am really excited to have that done. I've had to put it aside while I prepped for everything else that was going on this fall. So when I get back, I promise, it will be a little, like, what's that called when you have to prove yourself?
Deadline?
Oh, not deadline, but, I'll check in. You will hold me accountability. I will be accountable, and you can watch and see how far do I get on all of these projects. Maybe I'm having so much fun that I don't get very far at all. Maybe I'm having so much fun just being with everybody that I get everything done. It can work both ways. We'll see what happens. So our hours this week, Wednesday through Saturday, and they'll be Kate and the gang will be here to take care of all of your needs, both in knitting and crochet, and hopefully you get a chance to get in on Friday. We'll be at the door at 10 o'clock waiting for Kate to get your skein and your free Urth Project bag. She'll be more than happy to help you with that. I am, what?
Martha's curious about the class for DanDoh. It will be in July?
Yes, Martha, I will be scheduling that because we do want the yarn to be here. Yeah. So as soon as I know when the yarn is shipping, I'll be able to schedule the class. And if in the meantime, if you take a look on Ravelry at the Dando Designs, DANDOH, but her name is Yumiko.
I'm gonna put a link.
Yeah, it's Yumiko Alexander is the designer name and the owner of the business. You'll be able to look at all of her designs and pick your favorite. We've already done one class in the agave sweater, and that was really successful. Everybody made a beautiful, beautiful reproduction of that sweater. Okay, I am going to try to go live on next Monday from Italy. It really depends on how good the internet service is. Where we are, I really don't know. So it'll be the same time, 12:30 on Monday. It'll be 6:30 in Italy, I think. So look for me there. I will have everybody who's attending the class with me and maybe get some of them to come on camera and show. We'll have had 2 days of knitting by then. Maybe they can show you what we're working on and tempt you to think about coming in September of 2026. That's the week that I'm going to go back and do it all over again. All right, so now I think I have put some whims in your mind.
Barb says, have a good time.
And I hope I see you all when I get back. And in the meantime, go knit something. Bye-bye.